Chosen ones, you've passed the hardest test, and now God is saying it's time to hear everything. The veil is lifting, the secrets of your purpose are unfolding, and the reason God waited until this moment to reveal it all is about to become clear. You've walked through fire, stood firm in storms, and carried burdens no one else could bear. This isn't just a moment. It's a divine shift, a sacred turning point where everything you've endured starts to make sense. Your heart knows this truth, and your soul is ready to receive what's been prepared for you. You've faced trials that would break most people. Think about the nights you stayed awake, wrestling with doubts, fighting fears that whispered you weren't enough. You stood at crossroads where giving up seemed easier than pushing forward, yet you didn't quit. You chose faith over despair, courage over surrender. That's why you're here now, hearing this message. God saw every step, every tear, every moment you refused to let darkness win. And now, He's ready to open the floodgates of revelation. If this resonates with you, pause right now, hit that like button, and comment 777 below to declare you're ready for what's coming. This test wasn't about punishment. It was about preparation. God needed you strong, refined, unshakable. Like gold purified in fire, your trials burned away what didn't belong: fear, self-doubt, distractions. What's left is the real you, the chosen one, forged for a purpose so big it could only be revealed when you were ready. Psalm 66:10 says, "For you, God tested us. You refined us like silver." That refining wasn't easy, but it was necessary. You're standing on the other side, not just surviving, but thriving, ready to hear the full truth of your calling. Picture a seed buried deep in the earth. It sits in darkness, pressed by the weight of the soil, unseen and unnoticed. But that pressure, that isolation, is what forces it to break open and grow. You've been that seed, chosen one. The weight of your struggles wasn't meant to crush you. It was meant to push you toward breakthrough. Now, the ground is splitting, and you're rising into the light. God waited because He needed you to be rooted, strong enough to carry the weight of the blessings and revelations coming your way. Your journey wasn't random. Every challenge, every delay, every closed door was part of a divine blueprint. God wasn't silent. He was working. While you waited, He was aligning opportunities, moving people into place, and preparing your heart to receive His truth. Jeremiah 29:11 reminds us, "I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you." Those plans are unfolding now. The answers you've prayed for, the clarity you've sought, they're not distant anymore. They're here, ready to be spoken into your life. Some of you have felt like you were walking in circles, facing the same battles over and over. But those weren't circles. They were spirals, each one taking you higher, teaching you something new, building your strength. God was training you to see what others can't, to hear what others miss. You've learned to trust His voice even when the world screamed doubt. That's why He's ready to tell you everything now. You're not the same person you were when the test began. You're wiser, stronger, ready to carry the weight of His truth. If you're feeling this truth stir in your spirit, comment 777 below. Let the universe know you're claiming this moment. Your faith is a signal, a declaration that you're open to the divine revelations waiting for you. And if you want to join thousands of other chosen ones walking this path, hit that subscribe button. Together, we're stepping into a season where God's voice will be louder than ever. Let's talk about why God waited. It wasn't because He doubted you. It was because the world wasn't ready for the version of you He's been shaping. Your purpose is too big for just any moment. It's like a symphony. Every note, every pause, every crescendo has to align perfectly. God was composing your story, making sure every piece was in place before the grand reveal. You weren't delayed. You were being prepared for a stage only you could step onto. Think of Joseph, sold into slavery, imprisoned, forgotten. Years passed, and it seemed like God was silent, but every hardship was a step toward the palace where he'd save nations. Your story mirrors his. The moments you felt abandoned were the moments God was positioning you for greatness. He waited because he needed you to trust him completely, to know his voice above all others. Now, you're ready to hear the full scope of his plan, every detail, every promise, every purpose. You might be wondering, what does it mean to hear everything? It's not just words or instructions. It's a deep knowing, a spiritual clarity that shifts how you see yourself and the world. It's understanding why you've walked the path you have, why certain doors closed, why certain people left. It's seeing the connections between your past, present, and future, like pieces of a puzzle snapping into place. God's about to show you the picture on the box, the masterpiece he's been crafting all along. Your test taught you resilience, but it also taught you discernment. You've learned to spot what's real and what's not, to trust your spirit over your senses. That's why God can trust you with his truth now. You won't be swayed by distractions or deceived by illusions. You've been through too much to settle for half-truth. This is your moment to receive the full revelation, not just parts, but the whole vision of who you are and what you're called to do. Comment 777 one more time if you're ready to embrace this truth. Let it be a marker of your faith, a sign that you're stepping into this new season with expectation. The number 777 is a symbol of divine completion, a signal that God's work in you is coming full circle. You're not waiting anymore, you're receiving. Let's shift to what this revelation looks like in your life. It's not just a feeling or a thought, it's tangible. Doors that were locked will swing open. Opportunities you didn't expect will find you. People who align with your purpose will appear, drawn to the light you carry. This isn't wishful thinking. It's divine alignment. God's been moving pieces behind the scenes, and now you'll see them come together in ways that leave you in awe. Think of a lighthouse standing firm in a storm. Waves crash, winds howl, but it doesn't move. Its light cuts through the darkness, guiding ships to safety. You're that lighthouse, chosen one. Your trials made you unmovable, and now your light, your purpose, your faith, your truth will guide others. God waited to tell you everything because he needed you to be a beacon, not just for yourself, but for those lost in their own storms. This revelation isn't just about understanding your purpose, it's about living it. You'll start to notice changes, small at first, then undeniable. Your confidence will grow, not from pride, but from knowing who you are in God's eyes. Your decisions will feel clearer, your path more certain. Even your appearance might shift, your eyes brighter, your presence stronger, because the weight of uncertainty is lifting. People will see it. They'll wonder what's different about you, why you seem so alive. You've been carrying questions for years. Why this happened, why that didn't. God's ready to answer them, not with vague promises, but with clarity that reshapes your entire perspective. Isaiah 55:9 says, "As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways." His answers won't just satisfy your mind, they'll ignite your soul. You'll see how every moment of pain was a thread in a tapestry of victory, woven by a God who never stops working for you. Some of you have felt alone in your journey, like no one understood the weight you carried, but you were never alone. God was there, guiding, shaping, waiting for the perfect moment to reveal his plan. That moment is now. You're not just hearing his voice, you're stepping into a partnership with him. He's trusting you with his secrets because you've proven you can carry them. Your heart, your faith, your resilience, they've all been tested and found worthy. Let's pause for a moment. If this message is speaking to you, comment 777 below one last time. Let it be a bold declaration that you're ready to hear everything God has for you. And if you want to stand with thousands of other chosen ones stepping into their divine purpose, hit that subscribe button. This is a movement, a community of souls ready to walk in God's truth together. Now, let's talk about what it means to carry this revelation. It's not just knowledge, it's power. Not the kind that controls or dominates, but the kind that transforms. When God reveals His plan, it's like handing you a key to a door you didn't even know existed. Behind that door is a life of purpose, abundance, and impact. You're not just meant to survive. You're meant to shape the world around you, to leave a mark that echoes for generations. Think of Esther, a woman who seemed ordinary until God revealed her purpose. She didn't seek the throne, but when the moment came, she was ready. Her courage saved a nation. Your test has prepared you for a moment like hers. A moment where you step into a role only you can fill. God waited because He needed you to be ready to handle the weight of that responsibility. Now you are. This revelation will change how you move through the world. You'll start to see opportunities where others see obstacles. You'll feel peace where others feel chaos. You'll carry a quiet strength that draws people to you, not because you demand attention, but because your presence speaks for itself. This is what it means to be a chosen one, not just to hear God's voice, but to live it, to embody it in every step you take. Your hardest test wasn't about breaking you, it was about building you. Every moment of struggle was a brick in the foundation of your destiny. Now, God's ready to show you the blueprint. You'll see why certain doors closed, why certain people walked away, why you had to wait. It wasn't rejection, it was redirection. Every no was leading you to a bigger yes, a purpose so vast it could only be revealed when you were strong enough to carry it. This moment is sacred. You're not just hearing words, you're receiving a divine download, a truth that's been waiting for you since before you were born. Ephesians 1:11 says, "In Him we were also chosen, having been predestined according to the plan of Him who works out everything in conformity with the purpose of His will." Your life isn't random. Every step, every test, every tear was part of His purpose. Now, you're ready to see it all. Some of you are already feeling it, a stirring in your spirit, a sense that something big is coming. That's not imagination, it's confirmation. God's speaking to you right now, saying, you're ready. The clarity, the answers, the purpose, they're not far off. They're here, unfolding in real time. You're stepping into a season where the fog lifts and the path ahead becomes crystal clear. Trust that feeling. It's God's voice calling you forward. Let's talk about the weight of this moment. You've carried burdens for so long, doubts, fears, questions about why things happened the way they did. But now, God's handing you the answers, not as a burden, but as a gift. This revelation isn't heavy, it's freeing. It's the moment you realize every struggle had a purpose. Every pain had a point. You're not defined by what you've lost, but by what you've gained. Wisdom, strength, and a connection to God that nothing can break. Picture a warrior after a long battle, standing on the field, scarred but victorious. That's you, chosen one. The scars are proof of your strength, not your weakness. They tell the story of a soul that refused to give up, a heart that trusted God even when the path was dark. Now, the battle's over, and God's ready to show you the victory. He's unveiling the purpose behind every fight, every tear, every moment you thought you couldn't go on. This revelation isn't just for you. It's for those around you. Your clarity, your purpose, your light will inspire others. People will see the change in you, the way you carry yourself with a new kind of peace. They'll ask what happened, how you found this strength. And you'll point them to God, to the truth He's revealing to you now. Your life will become a testimony, a living proof that God's plans are always good, even when they take time to unfold. Let's shift to what happens next. This isn't the end of your journey. It's the beginning of a new chapter. God's revelation is like a map, showing you where to go and what to do. You'll start to notice signs, small at first, then undeniable. A conversation that sparks an idea, a door that opens unexpectedly, a sense of peace that guides your decisions. These aren't coincidences. They're God's hand, guiding you into the life He's prepared. You've been through the fire, and now you're stepping into the promise. It's not just about hearing God's voice, it's about acting on it. James 1:22 says, "Do not merely listen to the word, and so deceive yourselves. Do what it says." This revelation is your call to action. God's showing you the path, but you have to walk it. Trust that every step is guided, every decision backed by His strength. You're not alone in this. You never were. Some of you are wondering, what if I'm not ready? Let me tell you, you are. The fact that you're here, hearing this, is proof. God doesn't reveal His plans to those who aren't prepared. You've been shaped by every trial, every moment of faith, every choice to keep going. You're not just ready, you're chosen. God's been waiting for this moment, and now it's yours to claim. This revelation will change how you see yourself. You're not just a survivor of the test, you're a victor. You're not just a person with a past, you're a chosen one with a purpose. God's about to show you who you really are, not through the world's eyes, but through His. You'll see the strength He's built in you, the gifts He's placed in you, the destiny He's written for you. This is the moment you step into your true identity. Let's talk about the freedom this brings. For so long, you've carried the weight of questions, why this happened, what it all meant. Now, God's handing you the answers, and with them comes release. The doubts that held you back, the fears that kept you small, they're falling away. You're stepping into a season of boldness, where you move with purpose, knowing God's got your back. This is what it means to be free in Him. Think of Moses standing before the Red Sea, staff in hand, with an army behind him and nowhere to go. He didn't have the answers, but he had God's voice. When he acted in faith, the sea parted. Your revelation is your staff, chosen one. God's about to part the seas in your life. Obstacles will move, paths will open, and what seemed impossible will become your reality. All because you trusted Him through the test. This moment is about more than understanding, it's about becoming. You're not just hearing God's plan, you're stepping into it. Every test has been a stepping stone, every trial a lesson in trust. Now, you're ready to live the life God's been preparing. You'll see His hand in every detail, His voice in every decision. This is what it means to be a chosen one, not just to survive, but to shine. Your revelation isn't a one-time event, it's a lifestyle. God's truth will keep unfolding, layer by layer, as you walk with Him. Each step will bring new clarity, new purpose, new strength. You're not just receiving a message, you're entering a partnership with the Creator, where every moment is guided by His voice. This is the life you were made for, the destiny you were chosen for. Some of you have felt stuck, like life was on pause. But that pause wasn't wasted time. It was holy preparation. God was teaching you to hear His voice above the noise, to trust His timing above your own. Now the pause is over. The play button's been pressed, and your story's about to take off. You're not waiting anymore. You're moving, guided by the truth God's revealing right now. Let's talk about the impact of this moment. Your revelation isn't just for you, it's for the world. God's chosen you to carry His light, to show others what's possible when you trust Him. Your life will become a story of victory, a proof that God's promises are real. People will look at you and see hope, not because you're perfect, but because you're proof that God's plans always come through. Picture a river, steady and strong, carving its way through stone. That's you, chosen one. Your faith, your resilience, your trust, they've carved a path through the hardest moments of your life. Now that river's flowing into new territory, carrying God's truth, His purpose, His blessings. You're not just moving forward, you're shaping the landscape, leaving a legacy for those who follow. This revelation is your turning point. It's the moment where everything changes. Not because the world shifts, but because you do. You're seeing yourself as God sees you, chosen, capable, destined for greatness. The tests you passed weren't just obstacles, they were training grounds, preparing you for a purpose so big it could only be revealed now. You're ready to hear it all, to live it all, to be it all. Some of you are feeling a spark right now, a sense that this is more than words. That's God speaking directly to your spirit, confirming that this is your moment. Trust that spark. It's the same voice that guided you through the test, the same strength that carried you to this point. You're not imagining it. It's real, and it's yours to claim. God's ready to tell you everything, and you're ready to receive it. Let's talk about what it means to live in this truth. It's not just about knowing, it's about doing. God's revelation will show you the next steps, the decisions to make, the paths to take. You'll feel a boldness you didn't know you had, a clarity that cuts through confusion. This isn't about chasing dreams. It's about walking in purpose, knowing every step is guided by the one who made you. Think of David, a shepherd boy facing a giant. He didn't have the armor, the experience, or the approval of others, but he had God's voice. And that was enough. Your revelation is your slingshot, chosen one. It's the tool God's giving you to face the giants in your life. Doubt, fear, obstacles. With His truth in your hands, nothing can stand in your way. This moment is about stepping into your authority. You're not just a survivor of the test, you're a conqueror. God's revealing His plan because He trusts you to carry it out. You've proven your faith, your strength, your heart. Now, He's giving you the keys to a life of purpose, abundance, and impact. This is what it means to be chosen, not just to hear, but to act, to live, to shine. Your revelation will ripple outward, touching lives you may never meet. Your courage will inspire others to trust God. Your clarity will light the way for those lost in darkness. Your purpose will shift the world around you, not because you force it, but because God's truth in you is unstoppable. You're not just a chosen one, you're a catalyst, a spark that ignites change wherever you go. Let's talk about the peace this brings. Knowing God's plan doesn't just give you direction, it gives you rest. The questions that kept you up at night, the fears that weighed you down, they're fading. You're stepping into a season where trust replaces worry, where faith replaces doubt. Philippians 4:7 says, "The peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds." That's yours now, chosen one. This revelation isn't just about the big moments. It's about the small ones too. You'll start to see God's hand in the everyday. A kind word that lifts your spirit, a chance meeting that opens a door, a quiet moment where you feel His presence. These are the threads of His plan, weaving together to form a life of purpose and joy. You're not just hearing His voice, you're living in it. Some of you have been waiting for a sign, a confirmation that you're on the right path. This is it. God's speaking to you right now, saying, you've passed the test, you're ready. The clarity, the purpose, the answers, they're not coming someday. They're here, unfolding in this very moment. Trust that. Step into it. You're not waiting anymore. You're walking in the truth God's revealing. Let's shift to the legacy you're building. Your revelation isn't just for today. It's for tomorrow, for the generations that follow. The choices you make now, the faith you carry, the purpose you live out, they'll echo beyond your lifetime. You're not just living for yourself. You're planting seeds that will grow into trees of hope, strength, and faith for others. Think of Abraham, called to a land he didn't know. trusting God's voice without seeing the full picture. His faith didn't just change his life, it birthed a nation. Your revelation is your call to a new land, a new purpose. You may not see the full picture yet, but God does. Every step you take in faith is building something bigger than you, something that will outlast you. This moment is about embracing the unknown with courage. God's revealing his plan, but it won't always look the way you expect. There will be surprises, twists, moments that test your trust, but every step is guided, every moment purposeful. You're not wandering, you're being led. Trust that God's plan is unfolding, even when it feels unfamiliar. Your revelation is a gift, but it's also a responsibility. God's trusting you with his truth because he knows you'll use it wisely. You're not just meant to hear it, you're meant to live it, to share it, to let it shine through you. Your life will become a testimony, a living proof that God's promises are real, that his plans are good, that his voice is clear. Let's talk about the joy this brings. Knowing God's plan doesn't just give you clarity, it gives you life. You'll feel a spark you haven't felt in years, a sense of purpose that makes every day feel alive. This isn't about chasing happiness, it's about living in the fullness of God's design. You're stepping into a season where joy isn't fleeting. It's foundational, built on the truth of who you are in him. Some of you have been carrying guilt, shame, or regret from the past. God's revelation is here to set you free. Those moments don't define you. Your faith does. Your purpose does. God's seen every mistake, every misstep, and he's saying, I've chosen you anyway. This revelation is your fresh start, your chance to step into a life where the past no longer holds you back. Think of Peter, who denied Jesus 3 times. He could have let shame define him, but Jesus called him anyway, saying, "Feed my sheep." Your revelation is God's call to you, saying, "I'm not done with you. I've got work for you to do." You're not your mistakes. You're his masterpiece, ready to step into the purpose he's revealing now. This moment is about claiming your identity. You're not just a person who survived the test. You're a chosen one, handpicked by God for a purpose that's uniquely yours. His revelation will show you who you are, not through the world's lens, but through his. You'll see the strength, the gifts, the destiny he's placed in you. This is the moment you step into who you were always meant to be. Let's talk about the power of this revelation. It's not just about knowing, it's about becoming. God's truth will ignite something in you, a fire that can't be quenched. You'll move with purpose, speak with authority, live with confidence. Not because you're perfect, but because you're his. This is what it means to be chosen, to carry his truth in a way that changes everything. Some of you are feeling a shift right now, a sense that this is more than words. That's God's voice, speaking directly to your heart, confirming that this is your time. Trust that feeling. It's not coincidence, it's divine. You're stepping into a season where his truth will guide every step, where his plan will unfold in ways that leave you in awe. You're ready, chosen one. God's ready to tell you everything. Let's talk about the vision God's unveiling. This revelation isn't just a whisper in your spirit. It's a vivid picture, a blueprint of your destiny painted in colors you've never seen before. Imagine standing on a mountain, looking out over a landscape you didn't know existed. That's what God's showing you now, a view of your life that stretches beyond what you thought was possible. Every test you faced was a step up that mountain, preparing you to see this far, this wide, this deep. Your trials weren't just about strength, they were about sight. God needed you to see beyond the ordinary, to catch glimpses of the extraordinary he's planned. You've been trained to notice what others miss, the quiet nudge of his voice, the subtle alignment of events, the hidden meaning in moments others overlook. Now, as he reveals everything, you'll see how every piece fits. The disappointments, the delays, the detours, they weren't random. They were brushstrokes in a masterpiece only God could create. Picture a mosaic, thousands of tiny pieces, each one seeming insignificant on its own. Up close, it's just fragments, sharp, jagged, confusing. But step back and you see the art, a story of triumph, purpose, and divine design. That's your life, chosen one. God's revelation is pulling you back to see the whole picture, to understand how every moment, even the painful ones, was part of something beautiful. You're not just seeing the pieces anymore. You're seeing the art. This vision isn't just for you to admire. It's for you to live. God's showing you the path ahead, not so you can stand still, but so you can move with purpose. You'll start to notice opportunities that seem tailor-made, connections that feel divinely timed. These aren't accidents. They're the fruit of your faith, the reward for trusting God through the test. Proverbs 3:6 says, "In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight." That's happening now. Your path is becoming clear. Let's shift to the courage this revelation demands. Knowing God's plan is one thing. Walking it is another. You've been through the fire, but now you're stepping into a new kind of challenge, one that requires you to act on what you hear. This isn't about reckless leaps. It's about bold, faithful steps. God's giving you the map, but you have to take the journey. Every choice you make now, guided by His truth, will shape the life you're stepping into. Think of Noah building an ark when the world saw no rain. People mocked him, doubted him, called him crazy, but he heard God's voice and acted, even when it made no sense. Your revelation is your ark, chosen one. It's the call to build something others can't yet see, to trust God's voice over the world's noise. You're not crazy, you're chosen, and every step you take in faith will prove it. This moment is about alignment. God's revealing His plan so you can line up your life with His purpose. It's like tuning an instrument. Every string, every note, adjusted until it sings perfectly. Your tests tuned you, sharpened your ability to hear His voice, to follow His lead. Now, as you align with His truth, you'll feel a harmony you've never known. Your decisions, your actions, your very presence will resonate with His will. Some of you have felt out of place, like you didn't belong in the world around you. That's because you were made for something bigger. God's revelation is showing you where you fit, not in the world's mold, but in His plan. You're not meant to blend in. You're meant to stand out, to carry a light that can't be ignored. This truth will anchor you, giving you a sense of belonging that no rejection can shake. Let's talk about the strength this revelation unlocks. You've always been strong, but now you'll feel it in a new way. It's not just about surviving, it's about thriving. God's truth will fill you with a power that doesn't waver, a confidence that doesn't fade. You'll walk into rooms and shift the atmosphere, not because you demand attention, but because His presence in you is undeniable. This is the strength of a chosen one, forged in trials, now shining in truth. Picture a tree, deep-rooted, unmoved by storms. Its branches stretch high, its leaves catch the sun, but its strength lies below, in roots that grip the earth. That's you, chosen one. Your tests built those roots, anchoring you in faith. Now, God's revelation is the sunlight, drawing you upward, urging you to grow, to reach, to bear fruit. Your strength isn't just for you. It's for others, a shelter for those still caught in their storms. This revelation changes how you see time. You've been through seasons of waiting, moments that felt endless. But now, God's showing you that time was never wasted. Every second was a building block, every delay a setup for what's coming. Ecclesiastes 3:1 says, "There is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens." Your season of clarity, of action, of breakthrough, it's here. You're stepping into God's perfect timing. Some of you have been carrying dreams that felt too big, too impossible. God's revelation is here to say, they're not. Those dreams weren't fantasies. They were glimpses of your purpose, planted by God long before you understood. Now, He's showing you how to bring them to life, step by step, door by door. You're not chasing illusions. You're walking into promises, guided by the one who never fails. Let's shift to the connections this revelation brings. God's not just revealing His plan, He's bringing people into your life who align with it. These aren't random encounters, they're divine appointments. You'll meet those who see your light, who understand your purpose, who walk with you toward the same vision. These connections will strengthen you, challenge you, and help you carry the weight of God's call. Think of Ruth, who found Boaz, not by chance, but by God's design. Her faithfulness led her to a field, to a moment, to a man who changed her destiny. Your revelation is leading you to your own fields, your own moments, your own people. God's aligning you with those who will lift you higher, who will walk with you into the purpose He's revealing. Trust these connections. They're part of His plan. This moment is about expansion. Your tests kept you focused, grounded, but now God's calling you to stretch. Your vision, your impact, your reach, they're growing. You're not meant to stay small, to hide your light. God's revelation is pushing you to think bigger, to dream wider, to live bolder. You're stepping into a season where your influence will touch lives you never imagined. Picture a river breaking through a dam. The water doesn't just trickle, it surges, carving new paths, reshaping the land. That's your life right now, chosen one. God's revelation is the force breaking the dam, releasing everything He's held back. Your purpose, your gifts, your impact, they're surging forward, unstoppable. You're not just living for today, you're shaping tomorrow. This revelation gives you clarity, but it also gives you responsibility. God's trusting you with His truth because He knows you'll steward it well. You're not just meant to hear it, you're meant to act on it, to live it out in a way that honors Him. Every decision you make now carries weight, not because it's heavy, but because it's holy. You're building something eternal, something that will outlast you. Some of you have felt overlooked, like your efforts went unseen. But God saw everyone. He saw the moments you chose faith over fear, the times you kept going when no one cheered. Now, He's revealing why it mattered. Your faithfulness wasn't for nothing, it was for this. You're stepping into a season where your work, your heart, your trust will be seen, honored, and rewarded. Let's talk about the joy of this moment. God's revelation isn't just about answers, it's about celebration. You've made it through the test, and now He's inviting you to rejoice. This isn't a fleeting happiness, it's a deep, unshakable joy that comes from knowing you're exactly where you're meant to be. Psalm 16:11 says, "You make known to me the path of life. You will fill me with joy in your presence." That's your reality now, chosen one. This revelation is also about healing. Your tests left scars, wounds from rejection, loss, or failure. But God's truth is a balm, soothing those hurts, showing you they were never the end of your story. They were chapters, leading you to this moment of restoration. You're not broken, you're whole, ready to carry His light with a heart made new. Think of Job, who lost everything yet stood firm in faith. When God restored him, it wasn't just about wealth. It was about meaning, about understanding the purpose behind the pain. Your revelation is your restoration, chosen one. God's showing you why you suffered, why you waited, and how it's all leading to a life of abundance and purpose. This moment is about stepping into your authority. You're not just a follower of God's plan. You're a co-creator, entrusted with His vision. He's revealing His truth so you can build with Him, shaping the world in ways only you can. Your voice, your gifts, your story, they're tools in His hands, ready to make an impact that echoes beyond your lifetime. Let's talk about the freedom this brings. Knowing God's plan releases you from the need to prove yourself. You don't have to chase approval or validation. Your worth is sealed in His truth. You're free to be who He made you, to love without fear, to act without doubt. This freedom isn't reckless. It's grounded in the certainty that God's got you, now and always. Some of you have felt trapped by expectations, your own or others. God's revelation is breaking those chains. You're not bound by what people think you should be. You're defined by what God says you are. His truth is setting you free to live boldly, to step into your purpose without apology. You're not here to fit in. You're here to stand out. Picture a bird caged for years, suddenly released. It doesn't hesitate. It soars. That's you, chosen one. Your tests were the cage, teaching you strength, patience, faith. Now, God's revelation is the open door, and you're ready to fly. Your wings are strong, your vision clear. The sky is yours, and God's guiding every move. This revelation is also about connection, not just with God, but with others. As you step into His truth, you'll find a community of souls who see what you see, who carry the same light. These aren't just friends. They're fellow warriors, builders, dreamers, chosen like you to carry God's purpose. Together, you'll do more than you ever could alone. Let's shift to the legacy you're leaving. Your revelation isn't just for you, it's for those who come after. Every step you take in faith, every truth you live out, plants a seed for the future. You're not just living for today, you're building a foundation for generations. Your story will inspire, your faith will guide, your purpose will endure. Think of Deborah, a prophetess and judge who led with wisdom and courage. Her faithfulness didn't just save her people. It set a precedent, showing what's possible when you trust God's voice. Your revelation is your call to lead, chosen one. Not with force, but with truth. Your life will show others what it means to hear God and act. This moment is about stepping into abundance, not just material, but spiritual, emotional, relational. God's revelation opens the door to a life overflowing with purpose, peace, and joy. You're not scraping by, you're thriving, walking in the fullness of His plan. Malachi 3:10 says, "See if I will not throw open the floodgates of heaven and pour out so much blessing that there will not be room enough to store it." That's your promise, chosen one. Some of you have been afraid to hope, afraid to believe the future could be better than the past. God's revelation is here to shatter that fear. Your tests taught you resilience. Now His truth is teaching you to dream again. The life He's revealing isn't small, it's vast, filled with possibilities you haven't dared to imagine. Trust Him. Your best days are ahead. Let's talk about the clarity this brings to your relationships. God's showing you who's meant to walk with you and who isn't. Some people were part of your test, teaching you lessons in love, trust, or forgiveness. Others are part of your future, ready to build with you. His revelation will guide you to let go where needed and embrace where called, creating connections that align with His plan. Picture a garden, carefully tended, where every plant has its place. Some need pruning, some need nurturing, some need to be uprooted. That's your life now, chosen one. God's revelation is the gardener's hand, showing you what to keep, what to release, what to cultivate. Your relationships will bloom in this season, rooted in truth, growing in love. This revelation is also about reclaiming your voice. You've been silent at times, holding back your truth, your dreams, your heart. But God's saying it's time to speak. Your words carry power, not to boast, but to build, to heal, to inspire. As you step into His truth, you'll find your voice grows stronger, clearer, more impactful. You're not just speaking, you're declaring His purpose. Think of John the Baptist, crying out in the wilderness, preparing the way. His voice wasn't polished or popular, but it was true, and it changed everything. Your revelation is giving you a voice like his, chosen one that cuts through noise, that calls others to truth, that prepares the way for God's work. Speak boldly. The world needs to hear you. This moment is about stepping into your calling with certainty. You've doubted, wondered if you were enough, if you were on the right path. God's revelation is your confirmation. You are. Every test was proof of your strength, every trial a testament to your faith. Now he's showing you the why behind it all, the purpose that ties every moment together. You're not guessing anymore. You know. Some of you have felt invisible, like your efforts didn't matter. But God's revelation is pulling back the curtain, showing you how seen you've always been. Every prayer, every act of faith, every moment you chose to trust, it was noticed, recorded, honored. Now, you're stepping into a season where your light can't be hidden, where your purpose shines for all to see. Let's talk about the transformation this sparks. God's truth doesn't just inform, it changes you. You'll feel a shift in your spirit, a fire in your bones. You're not just carrying his plan, you're becoming it. Your thoughts, your actions, your very presence will reflect his truth. People will notice, not because you demand it, but because his light in you is undeniable. Picture a caterpillar hidden in its cocoon, transforming in silence. That's been you, chosen one, growing, changing, preparing in ways no one could see. Now, God's revelation is the moment you break free, wings unfolding, ready to soar. You're not the same person you were. You're new, transformed, ready to live the truth he's revealing. This revelation is also about trust, not just in God, but in yourself. You've doubted your instincts, questioned your worth. But God's showing you that your heart, your spirit, your intuition, they've been right all along. His truth is confirming what you've sensed, guiding you to trust the voice within that aligns with his. You're not second-guessing anymore. You're stepping forward with certainty. Some of you have been waiting for permission, for someone to tell you it's okay to shine. God's revelation is that permission. He's saying, you don't need anyone else's approval. I've chosen you. You're free to be bold, to dream big, to live fully. His truth is your green light, your invitation to step into the life he's prepared without hesitation. Let's shift to the impact of your obedience. Every time you act on God's truth, you're not just changing your life, you're shifting the world. Your faith, your choices, your courage, they ripple outward, touching lives you may never know. You're not just a chosen one, you're a catalyst, sparking change, inspiring hope, building a legacy that reflects God's heart. Think of Daniel, who stood firm in a lion's den, trusting God's voice over fear. His obedience didn't just save him, it showed a king, a nation, the power of God. Your revelation is calling you to that kind of faith, chosen one. Your obedience will show the world what's possible when you trust God's plan, when you act on his truth. This moment is about stepping into abundance, not just in wealth, but in purpose, in peace, in love. God's revelation is opening doors you didn't see, leading you to a life that overflows. You're not chasing scarcity anymore. You're walking in fullness, knowing every need is met, every step guided. His truth is your assurance, your promise of a life well lived. Some of you have felt stuck, like life was holding you back. God's revelation is breaking those barriers. You're not bound by circumstances, by past mistakes, by others' expectations. His truth is setting you free to move, to grow, to become. You're stepping into a season where nothing holds you back, where his plan unfolds with power and precision. Let's talk about the peace this brings. Knowing God's truth doesn't just give you answers, it gives you rest. You're not striving anymore, not fighting to figure it all out. His revelation is your anchor, your assurance that everything is working together for your good. Romans 8:28 says, "In all things God works for the good of those who love Him." That's your reality now, chosen one. This revelation is also about rediscovery. You've been through so much, you might have lost sight of who you are. God's truth is reminding you not just of your purpose, but of your joy, your passion, your heart. You're reconnecting with the person He made you to be, the one who dreams, who loves, who lives fully. This is your moment to come alive again. Picture a flame, flickering in the wind but never going out. That's been you, chosen one, tested, tried, but never extinguished. Now, God's revelation is the oxygen, turning your flicker into a blaze. You're not just surviving, you're shining, burning bright with purpose, ready to light up the world. His truth is your fuel, and there's no limit to how far you'll go. This moment is about stepping into your destiny with boldness. God's not just revealing His plan, He's inviting you to own it, to walk in it with confidence. You're not a bystander in your story. You're the lead, chosen by God to carry His truth, to live His purpose. Every step you take now is a declaration of who you are and whose you are. Some of you have been afraid to step out, worried you'll fail or fall short. God's revelation is your assurance. You won't. He's equipped you, prepared you, guided you. His truth is your foundation, strong enough to hold every dream, every step, every leap. You're not stepping into the unknown. You're stepping into His plan, and He never fails. Let's talk about the beauty of this moment. God's revelation isn't just practical, it's poetic. It's the moment your life starts to sing, a melody of purpose, faith, and love. You're not just hearing His voice, you're becoming part of His song, a note in His symphony that echoes through eternity. Your life is His art, and this revelation is the unveiling. Think of Mary, who heard the angel's words and said, "Let it be to me according to your word." Her yes changed history. Your revelation is your angel's visit, chosen one. God's invitation to say yes to His plan, to let His truth shape your life. Your yes will change not just your story, but the world's. You're ready, and He's waiting. This revelation is about more than knowledge. It's about transformation. As God reveals His truth, you're not just learning, you're becoming. Your heart, your mind, your spirit, they're aligning with His purpose, taking on His shape. You're not just carrying His plan, you're embodying it, living it out in every moment, every choice, every breath. Some of you have been waiting for a breakthrough, a moment when everything changes. This is it. God's revelation is your breakthrough, the key that unlocks the life you were made for. It's not just a door opening. It's a floodgate, releasing His promises, His purpose, His power into your life. You're not waiting anymore. You're stepping into it. Let's shift to the legacy of this moment. Your revelation isn't just for you. It's for those who will come after. Your faith, your obedience, your courage. They're planting seeds that will grow long after you're gone. You're building something eternal, something that reflects God's heart, something that will inspire generations to trust His voice. Picture a builder laying stones for a cathedral that won't be finished in their lifetime. That's you, chosen one. Every truth you live, every step you take in faith is a stone in something bigger. God's revelation is showing you the plans, the purpose, the beauty of what you're building. You're not just living, you're leaving a legacy. This moment is about stepping into your power, not worldly power, but divine authority. God's truth gives you the right to walk boldly, to speak with certainty, to live without fear. You're not just a chosen one, you're a force, anointed by God to carry His purpose, to shift atmospheres, to change lives. His revelation is your commissioning, your call to rise. Some of you have felt small, like your life didn't matter. God's revelation is here to say, it does. You're not insignificant. You're essential. His plan for you is vast, intricate, eternal. You're not just part of his story, you're a key player, chosen to carry his truth in a way no one else can. Step into that truth, chosen one. The world's waiting. Let's talk about the fire this revelation ignites. God's truth isn't just a light in the darkness. It's a spark that sets your soul ablaze. You've felt it before, those moments when something stirred deep within, urging you to rise, to act, to become. Now, his revelation is fanning that spark into a flame, a passion that drives you forward with purpose. You're not just hearing his plan, you're burning with it, ready to move mountains with the fire he's placed in you. Think of Elijah calling down fire from heaven. He wasn't just praying, he was standing in the certainty of God's power, unafraid to challenge the impossible. Your revelation is your altar, chosen one, the place where God's truth meets your faith. His voice is the fire, ready to consume every doubt, every obstacle. You're not just carrying his plan, you're wielding it, a force that shifts realities and silences skeptics. This moment is about momentum. Your tests built strength, but God's revelation is giving you speed. You're not crawling anymore, you're running, propelled by the clarity of his purpose. Every step feels lighter, every decision surer. You're not hesitating, second-guessing, or looking back. His truth is your wind, pushing you toward the life he's designed, faster than you ever thought possible. Picture a river carving through a canyon, relentless, unstoppable. That's you now, chosen one. Your faith, your purpose, your trust in God's voice. They're cutting through barriers, reshaping the landscape of your life. His revelation is the current, driving you forward, clearing the way for what's next. You're not stuck, you're flowing, moving toward a destiny that's bigger than you imagined. This revelation is also about discernment. God's showing you not just what to do, but how to see. You'll notice things others miss, opportunities hidden in plain sight, warnings and subtle signs, connections that align with his plan. Your tests sharpened your instincts, and now his truth is honing them, giving you eyes to see the divine in the ordinary. You're not guessing anymore, you're knowing. Some of you have felt overwhelmed, like the world's noise drowned out your purpose. God's revelation is your filter, cutting through the chaos, amplifying his voice. You'll hear him clearer now, not just in quiet moments, but in the middle of life's storms. His truth is your compass, guiding you through confusion, pointing you toward what's real, what's eternal. Let's shift to the healing this brings. Your tests left wounds, some visible, some buried deep. God's revelation isn't just about purpose, it's about restoration. His truth is mending the broken places, soothing the hurts you've carried. You're not defined by your scars anymore. You're defined by his love, his plan, his voice. This is your season to be made whole. Think of the woman at the well carrying years of shame, rejection, and pain. Jesus didn't just speak to her. He saw her, knew her, offered her living water. Your revelation is that water, chosen one, washing away the past, filling you with hope. God's truth is healing you, not just for your sake, but so you can carry his love to others who are still hurting. This moment is about stepping into your influence. God's revelation isn't just personal, it's powerful. You're not meant to keep this truth to yourself. You're meant to share it, to let it ripple through your words, your actions, your presence. You're becoming a beacon, a voice, a force that draws others to God's light. Your influence isn't about control, it's about inspiration. Picture a single candle in a dark room. Its light doesn't demand attention, it simply shines, and the darkness can't resist it. That's you, chosen one. God's revelation is your flame, and as you carry it, others will be drawn to its warmth. Your life, your story, your faith, They're lighting the way for those still searching for their own truth. This revelation is also about freedom from comparison. You've looked at others, wondering why their path seemed easier, why their blessings came sooner. God's showing you now. Your journey was never meant to look like theirs. Your tests, your timing, your purpose, they're unique, crafted for you alone. His truth is freeing you to embrace your story without envying anyone else's. Some of you have felt trapped by the need to measure up, to prove you're enough. God's revelation is breaking that chain. You're not competing, you're chosen. His plan for you doesn't depend on anyone else's approval or success. You're free to run your race, to live your truth, to shine in the way only you can. His voice is your guide, and it's louder than any comparison. Let's talk about the boldness this sparks. God's truth isn't timid, it's fierce. As He reveals His plan, you'll feel a courage rising, a willingness to step out, to speak up, to act without fear. This isn't arrogance, it's assurance, rooted in the certainty that God's with you. You're not shrinking back anymore, you're stepping forward, ready to claim what's yours. Think of Joshua facing Jericho's walls. He didn't have the weapons or the numbers, but he had God's voice telling him to march. His boldness wasn't in his strength, it was in his obedience. Your revelation is your march, chosen one. God's truth is tearing down walls in your life, opening paths you couldn't see. You're not fighting alone, He's leading the way. This moment is about rediscovering your dreams. Somewhere along the way, your tests might have buried them, made you think they were impossible. God's revelation is digging them up, dusting them off, showing you they were never lost, just waiting. His truth is breathing life into those desires, those visions, those hopes you thought were gone. They're part of His plan, and they're coming alive now. Picture a garden after a long winter, where flowers thought dead begin to bloom again. That's your heart, chosen one. God's revelation is the spring, awakening what's been dormant. Your dreams aren't fantasies, they're promises, planted by God, ready to grow. His truth is the sunlight, the rain, the soil, bringing them to life in ways you never expected. This revelation is also about trust in the unseen. God's showing you His plan, but not every detail will be clear. Some steps will feel like leaps into the unknown. That's where faith comes in. Your tests taught you to trust when you couldn't see the outcome, and now His truth is strengthening that trust, giving you the courage to move even when the path isn't fully lit. Some of you have hesitated, waiting for a perfect plan, a guaranteed outcome. God's revelation is saying, you don't need to see it all. His voice is enough. Hebrews 11:1 says, faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see. Your faith, proven in the test, is ready for this moment. You're not walking blind. You're walking with Him. Let's shift to the legacy you're building. This revelation isn't just about your life. It's about the lives you'll touch. Your obedience to God's truth will inspire others, showing them what's possible when you trust His voice. You're not just living for yourself. You're paving the way for those who'll follow, leaving a trail of faith, hope, and purpose. Think of Hannah, who prayed for a son and promised to give him back to God. Her faith didn't just give her Samuel. It gave Israel a prophet, a leader, a voice. Your revelation is your prayer answered, chosen one, and it's not just for you. It's for the Samuels in your life, the people God's called you to influence, to raise up, to lead. This moment is about stepping into your authority, not as a ruler, but as a servant. God's truth is anointing you to lead with humility, to serve with strength, to love with power. You're not here to dominate, you're here to lift others, to show them the way to their own purpose. His revelation is your commissioning, your call to make a difference. Picture a shepherd guiding a flock through dangerous terrain. That's you, chosen one. God's truth is your staff, leading you and those around you to safety, to purpose, to life. Your influence isn't loud or forceful. It's steady, sure, rooted in His voice. You're not just walking your path, you're helping others find theirs. This revelation is also about joy, not the fleeting kind, but the deep, unshakable kind that comes from knowing you're in God's will. Your tests taught you to find joy in the struggle, and now His truth is showing you joy in the victory. You're not just surviving, you're celebrating, living in the fullness of His plan with a heart that sings His praise. Some of you have forgotten what joy feels like, buried under the weight of your trials. God's revelation is lifting that weight, reminding you that His plan includes laughter, peace, moments of pure delight. You're stepping into a season where joy isn't rare. It's constant, woven into every day, every step, every truth He reveals. Let's talk about the strength this builds. God's truth isn't just informing you, it's fortifying you. You're not just hearing His plan, you're being equipped to live it. Every word He speaks strengthens your spirit, sharpens your mind, steadies your heart. You're not just a chosen one, you're a warrior, armed with His truth, ready to face whatever comes. Think of Gideon, called from hiding to lead an army. He didn't feel ready, but God's voice made him mighty. Your revelation is your call, chosen one. God's truth is transforming you from hidden to heroic, from doubtful to daring. You're not just stepping into purpose, you're charging into it with His strength as your shield. This moment is about alignment with eternity. God's revelation isn't just about now, it's about forever. His truth is tying your life to His eternal plan, giving every moment meaning, every choice weight. You're not just living for today, you're living for a purpose that echoes in heaven, a legacy that lasts beyond time. Picture a star shining in the night sky, visible for centuries. That's your life, chosen one. God's revelation is placing you in His constellation, a light that shines not just for now, but for generations. Your purpose, your faith, your truth, they're eternal, part of His story that never ends. This revelation is also about rest. You've fought, you've endured, you've carried the weight of the test. Now, God's truth is inviting you to rest in Him, to trust that He's got it all in hand. You're not striving anymore, you're abiding, rooted in His love, secure in His plan. His voice is your peace, your home. Some of you have been running, pushing, fighting to make things happen. God's revelation is saying, slow down. His truth is your assurance that everything's unfolding as it should. You don't have to force the doors, He's opening them. You don't have to chase the blessings, He's bringing them. Rest in His truth, chosen one, and watch His plan come to life. Let's shift to the connections this fosters. God's revelation isn't just personal, it's relational. He's bringing people into your life who see your purpose, who share your vision, who walk with you in faith. These aren't just friendships. They're divine alliances, partnerships ordained by God to amplify His plan through you. Think of Jonathan, whose loyalty to David strengthened them both. His support wasn't just kindness. It was divine, part of God's plan to raise up a king. Your revelation is bringing your Jonathans, chosen one, people who see your calling, who stand with you, who help you carry it. Trust these connections. They're God's gift to you. This moment is about stepping into clarity, not just for big decisions, but for the small ones too. God's truth is illuminating every corner of your life, showing you what matters, what to let go, what to pursue. You're not confused anymore. You're certain, guided by a light that never fades, a voice that never wavers. Picture a map, once blurred, now coming into focus. That's your life, chosen one. God's revelation is sharpening the lines, showing you the way forward. Every choice, every step, every moment, It's all part of His plan, and you're seeing it clearly now. You're not guessing, you're walking in truth. This revelation is also about courage. Not the loud kind, but the quiet, steady kind that faces the unknown with faith. God's truth is giving you the strength to say yes to His call, even when it feels big, even when it scares you. You're not running from the challenge, you're embracing it, knowing He's with you every step. Some of you have held back, afraid of what stepping out might cost. God's revelation is your assurance. The cost is nothing compared to the reward. His truth is your shield, your strength, your reason to move forward. You're not stepping into danger, you're stepping into destiny, guided by the one who never fails. Let's talk about the legacy this builds. Your revelation isn't just changing your life, it's shaping the future. Every truth you live, every step you take is a seed planted for those who come after. You're not just a chosen one. You're a trailblazer, clearing the way for others to follow, showing them what faith looks like in action. Think of Esther, whose courage saved a people and inspired generations. Her yes to God's call didn't just change her story, it changed history. Your revelation is your yes, chosen one. It's your moment to act, to live, to lead in a way that echoes beyond your lifetime. You're building something eternal, and God's truth is your foundation. This moment is about stepping into abundance, not just in wealth, but in love, in peace, in purpose. God's revelation is opening the floodgates, letting His blessings flow. You're not scraping by, you're overflowing, living in the fullness of His plan. His truth is your promise, your assurance that there's more than enough for you. Some of you have lived in scarcity, afraid there wouldn't be enough, of time, of resources, of love. God's revelation is shattering that fear. His truth is showing you a life of abundance, where every need is met, every dream possible. You're not limited anymore. You're free, walking in the overflow of His grace. Let's shift to the joy this brings. God's truth isn't just guiding you, it's lifting you. You're not just finding your path, you're dancing on it, alive with the joy of knowing you're His. This isn't about fleeting happiness, it's about a deep, unshakable joy that comes from living in His truth, from walking in His light. Picture a child running through a field, free and fearless. That's you, chosen one. God's revelation is setting your heart free, letting you run with joy, with purpose, with love. You're not weighed down anymore. You're alive, shining, ready to embrace every moment of this new season. This revelation is also about strength, not just to endure, but to create. God's truth is giving you the power to build, to dream, to bring His vision to life. You're not just surviving, you're shaping, crafting a life that reflects His glory. His voice is your blueprint, and you're ready to build something beautiful. Some of you have felt powerless, like your efforts didn't matter. God's revelation is showing you they did. You're not weak, you're mighty, chosen to carry His truth, to create with His power. You're not just a vessel, you're a builder, a dreamer, a force for His kingdom. Step into that strength, chosen one, and watch what you can do. Let's talk about the peace this anchors. God's truth isn't just a guide, it's a refuge. In a world of chaos, His revelation is your safe place, your certainty. You're not tossed by the waves anymore. You're grounded, rooted in His plan, secure in His love. His voice is your peace, and it's unshakable. Think of Jesus, sleeping in the boat while the storm raged. His peace wasn't in the calm, it was in His trust. Your revelation is that trust, chosen one, letting you rest no matter what's around you. God's truth is your anchor, holding you steady, guiding you through. You're not afraid. You're at peace, ready for what's next. This revelation is about awakening your vision. God's truth isn't just a map, It's a lens, sharpening how you see the world. You're not just looking at life anymore. You're seeing it through his eyes, catching glimpses of his purpose in every moment. The ordinary becomes extraordinary, the mundane holy. Your tests taught you to endure, but his truth is teaching you to see beauty, meaning, and divine intent where others see only chaos. Think of Elisha, who saw chariots of fire when others saw only an army. His eyes were open to God's reality, not the world's. Your revelation is opening your eyes, chosen one, showing you the unseen forces at work, the divine threads weaving through your life. You're not just surviving circumstances, you're seeing God's hand in them, guiding you toward a purpose bigger than you ever dreamed. This moment is about stepping into your voice. God's truth isn't just for you to hear, it's for you to speak. You've been quiet too long, holding back your thoughts, your dreams, your truth. Now, his revelation is unlocking your tongue, giving you words that carry weight, that shift hearts, that build futures. You're not just speaking, you're declaring, shaping reality with the authority he's given you. Picture a prophet standing before a nation, speaking God's truth with unwavering courage. That's you, chosen one. Your voice isn't loud or forceful. It's true, and that's what makes it powerful. God's revelation is giving you words to inspire, to heal, to lead. You're not silent anymore. You're a voice for his purpose, and the world will hear you. This revelation is also about freedom from fear. Your tests taught you to face challenges, but God's truth is teaching you to live without dread. You're not looking over your shoulder anymore, wondering what's next. His voice is your assurance, casting out every worry, every doubt. You're walking forward, not with fear, but with faith, knowing he's already gone before you. Some of you have been held back by anxiety, afraid of failure, rejection, or the unknown. God's revelation is your release. His truth is showing you that fear has no power over you, not because you're fearless, but because he's faithful. You're not bound by what could go wrong. You're free to trust what he's making right. Step into that freedom, chosen one. Let's shift to the connections this sparks. God's truth isn't just shaping you, it's drawing others to you. You're becoming a magnet for those who share your purpose, who see your light, who want to walk in his truth. These aren't casual relationships, they're divine partnerships, people sent to strengthen you, challenge you, and build with you in this new season. Think of Barnabas, who stood by Paul when others doubted him. His support wasn't just friendship, it was God's plan, lifting Paul into his purpose. Your revelation is bringing your Barnabas, chosen one, someone who sees your calling, who believes in you, who walks with you. Trust these connections. They're not random, they're ordained, part of his unfolding plan. This moment is about reclaiming your time. Your tests felt like delays, moments stolen by struggle. But God's revelation is showing you, nothing was wasted. Every second was his, used to shape you, to prepare you. Now, you're stepping into a season where time feels different, full of purpose, alive with possibility. You're not chasing moments anymore. You're living them. Picture a clock, once stuck, now ticking again. That's your life, chosen one. God's truth is setting your time free, aligning it with his rhythm. Every day, every hour, every breath is part of his plan, filled with meaning. You're not behind. You're right on time, walking in the season he's prepared for you. This revelation is also about strength, not just to endure, but to create. God's truth is giving you the power to build something new, something lasting. You're not just carrying his plan, you're shaping it, bringing his vision to life through your hands, your heart, your faith. You're not a bystander, you're a creator, working with him to make something beautiful. Some of you have felt like your efforts didn't matter, like your work went unseen. God's revelation is showing you, it did. Every step, every sacrifice, every moment of faith, it's all part of his design. You're not laboring in vain. You're building a legacy, a testimony, a life that reflects his glory. Keep creating, chosen one. He's with you. Let's talk about the peace this anchors. God's truth isn't just guiding your steps, it's grounding your heart. You're not tossed by life's waves anymore. You're steady, rooted in his voice. This peace isn't fragile. It's fierce, a calm that holds even in the storm. You're not shaken because you know who holds you. Think of Paul singing hymns in prison. His peace wasn't in his circumstances, it was in his God. Your revelation is that hymn, Chosen One, a song of trust that rises above chains. God's truth is your anchor, keeping you steady no matter what comes. You're not just surviving, you're resting in his promise. This moment is about stepping into your light. You've carried it through darkness, hidden it at times to blend in. But God's revelation is calling you to shine unapologetically, undeniably. Your light isn't just for you, it's for the world, a beacon that guides others to his truth. You're not hiding anymore. You're glowing, reflecting his glory. Picture a sunrise, breaking through the night, painting the sky with hope. That's you, chosen one. God's truth is your dawn, chasing away shadows, bringing warmth to those around you. Your light isn't loud, it's steady, constant, drawing others closer. You're not just chosen, you're a lighthouse, shining for all to see. This revelation is also about trust, not just in God, but in his timing. You've wanted answers, results, breakthroughs on your schedule. His truth is showing you. His clock is perfect. Every delay was preparation, every wait a gift. You're not late. You're aligned, stepping into his plan exactly when he intended. Some of you have felt frustrated, like life was moving too slow. God's revelation is your reminder. His timing is flawless. You're not behind. You're in step, walking with him. Ecclesiastes 3:11 says, "He has made everything beautiful in its time." That's your promise, chosen one. Your moment is now, and it's beautiful. Let's shift to the joy this brings. God's truth isn't just a guide, it's a celebration. You're not just finding your purpose, you're dancing in it, alive with the thrill of his plan. This joy isn't dependent on circumstances. It's rooted in his voice, in the certainty that you're his. You're not just living, you're rejoicing, every step a song of praise. Think of Miriam leading Israel in dance after the Red Sea parted. Her joy wasn't just in the victory, it was in God's faithfulness. Your revelation is your Red Sea moment, chosen one, a reason to sing, to move, to celebrate. His truth is filling your heart with joy, not because life is perfect, but because he is. This moment is about stepping into your authority. God's truth isn't just informing you, it's anointing you. You're not just a follower of his plan. You're a leader, chosen to carry his purpose with boldness. Your voice, your actions, your faith, they carry weight, not because of you, but because of him in you. Picture a king stepping into his throne, not with pride, but with purpose. That's you, chosen one. God's revelation is your crown, giving you the right to lead, to serve, to shine. You're not seeking power, you're walking in it, guided by his truth, ready to make a difference in his name. This revelation is also about healing, not just for you, but for others. Your tests broke you open, but God's truth is making you whole, turning your wounds into wisdom. You're not just healed, you're a healer, carrying his love to those still hurting. Your story, your faith, your light, they're medicine for a broken world. Some of you have carried pain for others, feeling their burdens as your own. God's revelation is showing you that's part of your calling. His truth is equipping you to lift others, to show them his love through your life. You're not just surviving your story, you're sharing it, helping others find their way. Let's talk about the legacy this builds. Your revelation isn't just for today, it's for tomorrow. Every truth you live, every step you take, is a brick in a foundation that will stand for generations. You're not just a chosen one, you're a builder, creating a legacy of faith, hope, and purpose that will outlast you. Think of Abraham, whose faith birthed a nation. His trust in God's voice didn't just change his life, it shaped history. Your revelation is your covenant, chosen one, a promise that your life will echo beyond your years. You're not just living, you're planting seeds, building something eternal. This moment is about stepping into abundance. God's truth isn't just opening doors, it's flooding your life with His blessings. You're not scraping by anymore, you're overflowing with love, peace, purpose. His revelation is your assurance that there's more than enough, that His plan includes everything you need and more. Picture a cup, filled to the brim, spilling over. That's you, chosen one. God's truth is pouring into you, not just to fill you, but to overflow, touching everyone around you. You're not limited, you're abundant, walking in His provision, shining with His grace. His voice is your promise, and it's unending. This revelation is also about clarity, not just for the big moments, but for the small ones. God's truth is lighting up every corner of your life, showing you what to keep, what to release, what to pursue. You're not confused anymore. You're certain, guided by a voice that never falters, a light that never dims. Some of you have felt lost, unsure of your next step. God's revelation is your compass, pointing you true north. You're not wandering, you're directed, walking in His truth. Every decision, every choice, every moment, it's all part of His plan, and you're seeing it clearly now. Let's shift to the courage this sparks. God's truth isn't just guiding you, it's emboldening you. You're not shrinking from challenges anymore, you're facing them head on, with a faith that moves mountains. His revelation is your strength, giving you the courage to act, to speak, to live without fear. Think of David facing Goliath with nothing but a sling and a stone. His courage wasn't in his weapon, it was in his God. Your revelation is your stone, chosen one, a truth that topples giants. You're not weak, you're mighty, armed with His voice, ready to face anything in His name. This moment is about rediscovering your heart. Your tests hardened you at times, made you guard your emotions. God's truth is softening you, reminding you to feel, to love, to dream. You're not just a warrior, you're a lover, a dreamer, a soul alive with His purpose. His revelation is bringing your heart back to life. Picture a flower, closed tight against the cold, now opening to the sun. That's you, chosen one. God's truth is your warmth, coaxing your heart open, letting you bloom. You're not closed off anymore. You're alive, ready to love deeply, to live fully, to shine brightly in His light. This revelation is also about purpose, not just knowing it, but living it. God's truth is calling you to action, to step into the role He's prepared. You're not waiting for permission. You're chosen, anointed, ready to move. His voice is your guide, and every step you take is a step toward His plan. Some of you have felt stuck, like your purpose was out of reach. God's revelation is your breakthrough, showing you that your calling isn't far off. It's here. You're not waiting, you're walking, moving in His truth, living the life He's designed. You're not dreaming anymore, you're doing. Let's talk about the strength this builds. God's truth isn't just a message, it's a foundation. You're not building on sand anymore, you're building on rock, unshakable, eternal. His revelation is strengthening you, not just for today, but for every challenge, every season, every step of your journey. Think of Nehemiah, rebuilding Jerusalem's walls despite opposition. His strength wasn't in his hands, it was in his faith. Your revelation is your wall, chosen one, a foundation of truth that nothing can tear down. You're not fragile. You're fortified, ready to build, to stand, to shine in His name. This moment is about stepping into your destiny, not as a hope, but as a reality. God's truth is showing you the life He's prepared, the purpose He's written. You're not chasing it anymore. You're living it, walking in it, becoming it. His revelation is your invitation to step fully into who you were made to be. Picture a ship, finally catching the wind after a long calm. That's you, chosen one. God's truth is your wind, filling your sails, driving you forward. You're not drifting, you're sailing, guided by His voice, headed toward a horizon bright with promise. You're not waiting, you're arriving, ready for all He has in store.